Okay, so one thing you should know is that um, technology has obviously been there for a very long time. All right, see ya. And um, your processes and applications. I'm going to, during this course, I'm going to use a transport company because I've managed transport companies before and I know what happens in a transport company. I'll use a transport company as an example company going forward. Now, as a transport company, you have your trucks, you have your drivers, you have the customers that you go and move their goods. I mean, this is logistics, okay? There's so many things that you do. If you start and you have one customer and you have one truck, one driver, okay, and in Ghana we call it a mate, driver's helper, and you've got a mechanic shop where you fix the car if it breaks down and all that. Look at just one. You got one customer that um, sells items that they buy abroad. Okay, so when the products come to the warehouse, arrive at the harbor, you, the transport logistic company, will have to go and move it, bring it to their warehouse. Sometimes these logistic companies also have warehousing facilities as well. Now, this is a business. There's one. With this one, you can actually use a spreadsheet to manage all of this because you need to know yesterday whether you went or not. You need all that information, which trip you did, who moved what time you did what. All of that information needs to be somewhere because, to be fair, you can't keep all of this in your head because just one trip, you need fuel, you need uh, you need to pay the driver. I remember paying the driver commissions and allowances, and obviously this driver will also have salary. All of this, you need to manage all of that. Imagine having books everywhere and so on and so forth. This is where when you get 2, 3, 4 customers, you increase the number of trucks you have, it becomes very, very hard to manage. So you then find someone to say, can you automate this process for me using technology? And the word is automate. In the sense that you're going to use technology to actually manage all of this. First thing is to actually find a place to put all the information that you have, so that it will be easily accessible for you on a computer. You click here and click here. What time did the driver arrive at the warehouse? It's easy. You have everything. You can even track the driver movement. You have a map, all of that. There's a lot that you want in a company like that. So you get someone who's going to design a solution, a technology for you to actually manage this instead of using books and Excel and so on and so forth. You pay taxes, you do a lot. There's a lot. So this person will then start working, and then that's where the other people in technology will come in. They'll gather information, all the things that you do, and someone will go and sit down, a developer go and sit down and develop a solution. Now, of course, it's technology, so the solution will have to sit somewhere, a machine, a server, we will call it this time, and this server will run this application. They will design an application, and it will run this application, gives you access to the application. It should be secure because, of course, you don't want anybody else apart from you to be able to access all of these. They'll be using tools, scanners here and there to collect the information, put it there. You can update, you can add, you can remove, you can do all sorts. And they will design an application for you. And then you'll be using it. Well, when the application designed and is there, they'll either you buy a server and put it in your office, a computer, a big computer that can run it. You obviously have to collect the requirements of the machine, and then put that in your machine, in your company office, and then have someone looking after it for you. If it will break, it will break because it's a machine. Simple, the internet is not working can cause a lot of problems. Simple light off can cause a lot of problems. Even the machine can heat up, can cause a lot of problems. Or the code that they've written can malfunction, or something can package somewhere can be obsolete. You need to change it. So someone needs to look at it. And that's at that time, those people were system admins, system administrators. They will be sitting there making sure that the application is always running, always running. And the system admin would administer, they'll take the code from the what's it called, the person who developed the code, the company who developed the solution, install the application, they work with it, the company, to get how they need to install this application, where to make sure that it's running. They will manage it going forward. Sometimes you want a new feature. Oh, I want to add taxation to the application so that I can manage my taxes as well. Okay, they go back, they develop, they add it to it, you install, you update. That's what was going on. Now, where came DevOps? It's like it got to a point, the developer, when they develop, they will, when they're doing the development, it was kind of, they have to finish everything and then they will bring it for you to install. The customer only saw the end product, So as I said, the application was running. Customer says, I want taxation. The taxation, the development company will have to do everything taxation, finish, and bring it to the customer. For the customer, who is you, who runs a transport company, to see it. And then there is where you see, oh, I don't like this thing, I don't like here, maybe change it, and they'll go back. And it was tedious. It took time for a whole company to finish one sort of feature, like the taxation, and then bring it on board for you to see it. And it was taking too long for them. So here comes DevOps. So DevOps came to sit in the middle so that, and they used agile methodologies. Okay, I'm saying a lot of words, but forget about it for now. These buzzwords. So what happened was that the DevOps engineer, while the company was developing, they are there with the developers. Okay, they are part of the development team. They sit there, they understand what they are working on. And they also are part of the operations team, which is the systems admin. So this person who's a system admin now is merged a little bit with the developers, that's why the name development, ops, operations. So when the guy is working on the code, taxation, maybe he will finish first feature of the taxation, which is maybe create a tax receipt. That's the first feature. I'm just using as and then they do it. What we do is we will do testing. We'll do testing, and if I'm sharing my screen, I think in the WhatsApp group I shared of DevOps. So you see this loop here. Let me see. Let me actually find another one. Images there. Okay, it's easy. You go, you can see it. It's everywhere. Okay, and this is what DevOps is.
You're not selling that back.
Is anybody else seeing?
We see Cloud9, AWS Cloud9
No,
kind of
AWS
pitch.
Cloud9. Welcome for development environment.
Oh, this thing is, it's trying to do my head in today. How about now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So I just went to Google and I typed DevOps and I picked one picture. So if I do it again, I just went to Google, typed DevOps. The first one that came was this. I clicked it. It's the same. So as you can see here in this here, the planning stage, well, discovery stage, okay, DevOps is there. We are there when they are discovering basically what is needed. The planning, you are there, okay, and then you build, you test, and then you deploy to the server. You operate it, make sure that it's running every time. You observe, which is monitoring, everyday continuous, and then you send feedback. So the first feature, is it working? Is it not working? So it's a loop between you and the developers. Feedback is sent, and then obviously discovery again, plan, and they're adding. And so basically, it becomes a continuous process instead of waiting for a complete application to be developed and then sent to the customer to install for the systems engineers to actually start operating. And what we've done as DevOps is this process here, we have automated a lot of them. Okay, as a DevOps engineer, this process here is automated, and you manage the automation process. So, of course, the planning stage, you can't people sitting there and planning. Maybe you can automate some of them, scheduling meetings and gathering information and so on and so forth. But the building stage, when the developer is actually building the code, you can automate some things and help the developer code build to be easy and for you to also know what's going on. And the testing stage is mostly automated. As soon as the code is developed, pushes it to GitHub, an automation is triggered and it's testing. And even the deployment stage, when test passed, deployment is automated. Sometimes in Bbox, my company, we just go and click a button and a whole lot of processes will be running in the backend, which will last maybe 30 minutes, something that you could have done in 2 days, like 30 minutes, and it will, because we have automated that process. And operating the application, monitoring and observing, here we have automated it. So if anybody knew me, you know that my phone, when application is breaking, will call me. This is not working here, that is not working here. So that process also got automated. So this is DevOps. Okay, as a DevOps engineer, most of your job you'll be doing these things to help the business, which is the logistics company, do its job properly. Okay, and that's a DevOps. So you could sit in a company that does the development and work with them. Some companies, they just outsource all their development to another company. So if this DevOps, this transport company is not big enough, it will just decide that, okay, I will outsource everything to another company who will then develop the solution for me. So you as a DevOps engineer, you are sitting in the development company, but then you are monitoring someone's application for them. So this got nothing to do with cloud, but the cloud sits in there as well, because now servers are in the cloud. We'll talk about cloud computing later, but I just want people to understand what DevOps is. Now, as a DevOps engineer, one tool that you need, I think mostly your work will stay around the deploy, operate, observe, and continuous feedback. Well, it will start from test, deploy, operate, observe. You do most of that. The developers that you work with, but you have to be integrated in that team and know about what they are working about, will be doing the planning and discovery planning and then the build stage. As a DevOps engineer, you will be doing a lot of this. Let me find another image that will say even more. So yeah, so here, look at this one. Look at this one. So more or less the same. The deployed stage is the release stage. Configure is the operate. Monitor is the whatever we, and then obviously the planning stage. The package is verified is the testing stage, and so on and so. Different words have been used differently, but you get the most. So as you can see with this one, they are specifying what tool you will use during what stage. Okay, deploy, operate, monitor, plan, code, build, test, release, deploy, and then you keep on doing that. And most of this is automated. Okay, so that is that. Anybody got any question you can ask? We will go through this a lot more going forward, and even this one is even.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So, if I understood correctly, the basic feature of a DevOps is to provide automation to things and then monitoring, or less automation because you're going to monitor the process anyway. Automation to what other companies are doing. So you're more or less like a solution provider, if that's correct. That's it. So let's say if there was no like company does not require automation, like I don't need automation, I'm just so archaic and I want to go through that manual process. Does that mean there is no other work for DevOps?
No, as I said, the operations part is where the DevOps engineer sits. So most of my work is to operate, but then DevOps itself is basically integrating you with the development team to streamline the release of new features. Okay, so if there wasn't any DevOps engineer, I would be a systems admin.
Okay, fantastic. One question though. So this is different from business analysts,
Yes.
Or is it the same as business? Do you kind of work with business analysts? Because I know there are some business analysts where they go to the customer who basically has no technical idea.
Well,
and
yes.
Then get the specifications, what they want to develop, and then send it to the developer for the developer to do.
Yes.
And then basically you guys will then be monitoring, or
yes.
How does that fit in?
Somehow I do work with the product owners. So we in development, I think we call them product owners or product managers.
Yeah, product
owners. Now, yes, when they are planning, the product owner will obviously go out and get the requirements. They have contact with the customer. Okay, so product owner.
Okay.
They have contact with the customer.
I think I see the thing. Okay, go on.
Yeah, they have contact with the customer. These analysts or whatever.
Yes, find business analyst. Yes.
Yeah, they have contact with the customer. They listen to the customer. They understand the customer requirement, exactly what the customer is wants. And when we are doing the planning, they sit in the planning as well. The developer sit in the planning. I sometimes sit in those planning meetings as well. And we talk about how we are going to achieve what the customer wants. So he will become more or less the customer.
Yes.
And then when we're building it, they are also there. when we are testing it, they are there because they will be the ones who will test and see if the customer requirement has been met.
Yes.
Okay. So yes, we work with them. Even monitoring, because sometimes, and I've got some of my people in this call, the customer will send a ticket. Hey, this is not working. Yeah, this is not working. Sometimes the POs help us to check if it's actually not working because they know the product.
How it works.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So the business analyst, the one I call the product owners, are more or less like technical guys who are representing the layman customer.
Yeah.
And then you guys sit between this PO and then the developers.
Yeah. So this is a product owner responsibility. And guys, one thing is, in the call, you hear a lot of people with using a lot of words and stuff. This is your time to then, when after the call, you have a little bit of time, go and research. Today, I'm going to talk about researching as well. Go and research about these that we are talking about. Okay. We got product owner, and we got Scrum Master, business analyst, and so on and so forth. So yes, they also work with us, but today's focus is not on them at the moment. I just want you to understand where DevOps is. Mostly, my job is a systems admin. Systems admin who is also working directly with the developers. Simple. Okay. But focusing on automating most of your operations and things that you've got to make. Administrating systems, look, you need to do database administrator, network administrator, security administrator, web administrator, computer operator. It's all of this a DevOps engineer still does. Okay, so the network admin will sit in a DevOps team. The security admin will sit there. Web admin will sit there. We'll have one person focusing on each of these, database admin, and so on and so forth. You will, because obviously the application, when it gets to the monitor stage, you're monitoring everything. Everything. So that's a lot of work. And you'll be installing all of these. Designing architecting the systems that will run the application. All of these things you will be doing. Okay. Site reliability engineer. Okay. All of this as a systems admin. But we've done it in a way that we don't want to isolate the systems admin and the developer and the POs or the business analysts and Scrum Masters. We don't want to isolate. We want to bring it together. So DevOps then merge them together. We work together, all of us working together to make sure. So even if I'm sitting in I'm a DevOps engineer from the company that is a transport company. They've employed me as a DevOps engineer there. When they outsource the development, I will still work directly with the development company. I'll have to work with them, make sure that what they are developing is coming on board. Okay, so that's that. Now, if you look at this, well, if we focus on systems admin, okay, we would say let's just focus on it because as a DevOps engineer, you will be administrating systems. So if we focus on just that, one tool, because web admin is something that you need. But one thing that I want to take you through today is what we call a server, specifically Linux server. Okay, so today we have introduced you to DevOps, yeah. And then we're going to go into systems admin, yeah, because you will need that as a DevOps engineer. Now, today I want to focus on one tool that stands out as a systems admin. Now, the word is a server, but I don't want to do servers today. So what I'll give you is a homework to go and research about servers. I just want to focus on Linux today. Now, Linux is an operating system that runs most servers, most applications. Okay, so the software that has been developed can be deployed and run on a Linux server or a Windows server. Okay. Now, if you go to Google and you type google.com, there is a machine or a server running to make sure that this website is available for you. Every time you put google.com, whatever happens, which we'll go in detail later, you are served this web page. Okay, web page. And just remember that there's a machine sitting somewhere doing it, giving you access to this information. A server literally is a computer that has a file. This is a file. This here you're seeing here is a file. Let's layman's term, yeah. That has a file that you can have access. You can give access to millions of people at the same time. Okay, your computer has a file, but it's locally. It's only local to you. Even that, if your laptop, the other laptop in your house, wants to access that same file, it can't. You have to configure your laptop that is holding the file so that other laptops in your local network in your house can also access the same file. Okay. And this is what layman's term, I think, what a server is. Server will do that for you. So it's not just a file. The server will just perform one specific operation. Like we have a file server, which is you put a file there, and then people can actually access the file remotely anytime they want, download it. Sometimes they can even make changes to the file. That's a file server. Okay. We have a print server. Print server is okay. We have one printer. How do we make sure that 10 people can print to the same printer at the same time and make sure that we can schedule jobs? If Kofi and Alphonse send a print command at the same time, exactly the same time, whose page is going to be printed first? It's the server that makes that decision. So I'm going to take my time and print this one, and when I finish, I'll print that one. It's a print server. Okay, so in a nutshell, a server allows a lot of people to access operations or systems of one machine at the same time. But remember, one machine, a lot of people doing the same thing on it will require a lot of resources. So you can't say your laptop, which is running 2 CPUs or 1 VPCU or 1 memory RAM, you're going to use it to for millions of people to access a file on it at the same time and download at the same time. The machine will be like, can't do it. You need more power machine. So this is it. That's what a server is. Now, going forward in your IT career, you'd realize that there's a operating system called Linux, which is the same as, well, it's not the same. It's an operating system, like Windows is an operating system. Okay. Linux is also an operating system, but it's widely used, it's mostly used across the businesses. Okay, so this course will focus on Linux. And I'd rather, if you go to Google, there's a lot of tutorials for Linux. Today I'm going to introduce you to Linux. We'll look this guy here. This thing here is 5 hours. This guy, I've got a video of 5 hours that you have to watch, follow, and he's amazing. Teach you everything you know about Linux. Teach you a lot about Linux. Okay. So this is one thing that I'm gonna give you a task of to do on your own time. But I'm going to introduce you to Linux. Now, we have created Cloud9. So I'll update this document. We will touch on all these again going forward. But today I just wanted you to know why I'm going to use Linux. And that's why I've gone through all of this. So we got server as well. We mentioned about a server. We'll go through all of this, and now we're going to do Linux. So today we're going to do Linux.
Leonard,
Now,
would you share that link of 5 hours?
The 5 hours, yes, I'll do. Yeah, I'll do. I'm going to create a playlist in the channel, the YouTube channel that I shared, and I'll find useful videos and put it there. So in there you can make sure that you can see all these videos from YouTube. So I'll put all of them there, and then you can. I don't want you to go and get confused. Anyway, so we have Windows and people have Mac and people have stuff, but there's one thing that you need to realize is that working in the industry, you will not have this. You will not have this. Let me stop sharing and share another page. So in a server, one thing, well, if it's a Windows server, maybe, but even that is rarely. Okay, I have not used, since I've been in, I've not used any graphical user interface. Okay, so I want to create a folder. Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay. I want to go to the home directory or the documents or the desktop. I want to open this file. Where are all my recent open files? I want to open this file. I double click and the file is open. Okay. I want to edit a file. This one, I want to edit a file. I don't want to edit this one. I don't want to. So I want to create a new file. I can go to, can open a program. I can open a program that manages files. Okay. And one of them is gedit or Word document. Text editor. Okay. And then I can say, I want to save this file. I want to create, duplicate this file, open a new one. These are all tasks that you're doing, but you're using graphical user interface to perform the task. Unfortunately, in Linux, as a Linux admin, you will not get that anymore. So what you will get is literally this. Because when you have to connect to a server, where is it? When you have to connect to a server, you will go in and all you can see is the command line. You'll be sending commands to the server to perform the same task that I was doing here, maneuvering through folders, creating a file, opening a program like I did gedit, adding text to the file, saving the file, deleting the file, doing also installing an application. You've all installed an application on your machines before. You go to the application installer, or you double click on a file and it launches an application that is used to install for you. All these you're using graphical user interface. Okay, what I want to say is that in your career as a DevOps engineer, focusing on Linux, you will not be using that. You'll be using terminal. A terminal is what you get when you connect to a server. This is all you get. That's it. And everything you do will be commands. You will send a command. So I want to see the location I am. If you go here in the GUI, you can see your location. You are in recent. This is the location I am currently. And this is everything that is in recent. I can go to home folder, and this is everything, all the documents in my home folder. I can also find who I am. Who am I? Which user have I logged in as? I can find all that information using the GUI. I can go here and you can see that the user, you can switch users. I'm using GUI to do all the, oh. Hello.
Yeah.
One lesson.
Welcome.
One lesson. Are you there? Can you
Yeah.
see my screen still?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
can.
Yeah. One lesson. Don't switch users in a live meeting. Anyway, my point being, all these tasks that I'm performing using graphical user interface, switching user, logging out, logging off, locking the screen, all these, even changing my Wi-Fi, connecting to a VPN, and so on and so forth. You will do all these, but from commands. So currently, I can see that I'm logged in as Bernard, and this is the machine that I'm logged in at. Okay. So I really want you to, I'm going to introduce you to this command line interface. Okay. Let's call it CLI, command line interface. Every computer has its own command line interface. Your Mac will have a terminal, they call it terminals. Windows have PowerShell, called a PowerShell. Linux has Bash or a shell, SSH, and so on and so forth. And this is where your life as a systems admin, DevOps admin, you will be doing most of. So when I joined Bebox, they gave me 3 months to learn Linux, the basics of Linux, 3 months. And every day when I came to the office, I was watching videos and practicing, That being said, I can only introduce you to it. We're not going to go through the whole thing. I'm giving you why you need it and a little bit of examples, but it's up to you to go and learn it. Now, one thing I'm going to introduce you to again today is something called research. I know you know about this. Okay. Do you have a question? No. I know you know about this, but in my career, most of the things that I focus my life, my time on is how to know the what and the why. The what and the why. What do I need? Why do I need it? What do I need to do? Why do I need to do it? That's the most important thing, and this is the most important advice I'd give you. The how to do it, you will always find a way to do it. And this is where you need to embed research into your career, researching. And God being so good nowadays in your life, there's something called AI. Before we used just Google. Mostly we use Google and also YouTube and also you obviously go and learn yourself. So what I said was, let the internet and other people help you with the how to do it. You are also included in the other people. So you will learn some of them yourself, but I don't think there's anybody who is jack of all trades who knows everything, how to do everything. If you know what to do and why you have to do it, it's the most important thing you need to learn. And today I've given you some of the what's and why. Now, how to do it is something that you can research. So if I go to Google now and I type how to list all users in Linux, it's there how, but you know what, because if you don't know the what, you can't even type in Google or tell ChatGPT or Google Gemini to give you that information. So you need to know the why, the what and the why, and then the how, you go and find it. Okay, how to list all files in Linux. And the command will just be in your face. It's there. But if you don't know that files can be listed, why you want to list those files, then you're not going to go and search for this. So remember, you cannot learn all the commands. Never. And some commands leads, there's a chain of commands. This command will give its information to that command, and after that, this command will give its information to that command. You put it all together, and you can perform a task. Okay, so if I want to find out what directory I'm in now, there's a command that you will use, which is pwd. I know that command. I've used it so many times, become embedded to my. So when I needed to do the how to do it, I use my own knowledge base. So you are going to build your knowledge base, but you're going to use others. So what I'm saying, how you use other people, you are part of the other people. Build your own knowledge base as well of commands, but then don't get stuck. Always use internet and research on these things. Okay, so it has been already 1 hour now. What we can do in the next maybe 10 minutes, if people still have time, is to practice some of these commands, and I'll introduce you to some of the commands you need to look at. Okay, so if I type pwd, it tells me I'm in this location. Okay, this location, which is a path. This is called a path. This is an absolute path. Okay, absolute path, exact path of where I am. And this is a file. In Linux, everything is a file. Everything is a file. Okay, sometimes you can open it, sometimes you can't open it. If I want to find out who I am, which is what we did here, who am I logged in as? There's a command called who am I. Says, oh, you are logged in as Bernard. Okay. The list that I wanted to do, there's a command we all saw in Google, is ls, and it lists everything in this directory for you. And this is the home directory. It says the home as a user Bernard. Okay. And these are the files that are in this home directory. And if I go here, and if I go to home, I can see the same files in the graphical user interface. Okay. But as I said, when you connect to a server, you will not see that GUI. Eddie, you got a question?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I'm just wondering, you know, at the beginning of, you know, where you put your command line.
Yeah.
So it's got that $sign.
Yeah.
Now, what if it's got the percentage sign? So what's the difference between those two?
It's literally different distributions of the Linux application.
Mhm.
So it doesn't matter. Sometimes it has a hashtag.
Yeah.
It is specifying the prompt. The word is prompt. Okay.
Mhm.
So this is where this is the prompt. Okay. That's the prompt that it gives you. So one other thing is, this is a very nice, so that it doesn't confuse, it's a very important question. What we can do is put it in Google, Gemini, whatever. Before the course, look, I have Gemini, and I put why do people use Linux as the most common server? And this is the response that I got, okay? Which I'm going to document and share with you. Flexibility. So here, these are the bullet point. Cost. It's cheap. You don't pay for it. Linux. It's open source. You can customize it. It's stable and reliable and so on and so on. So no, the question is, why is it that some Linux prompts have $1 and some has ampersand? Did you say $1 and ampersand or
Percentage?
yeah? So let's find out. Is and percent. I've not seen percent. Where did you see percent?
My Mac terminal.
Mark, okay. Difference
Mm.
between, there's a hashtag, I'm not sure. So there's an ampersand. Your Mac has, okay, it's a Mac thing. Trust me, it's a Mac thing. Each one has, and you can set that actually in your system. You can set it. So I can change mine. Okay, so if I can change mine to 1, I can change it. And if you want to change it, you can change it. So it doesn't matter. Basically, you need to know
the
that
same thing.
Yeah, it does the same thing. You can change it. I can actually change my prompt. I think I've done that before. And these are set prompt to. You can put some. Don't focus on these things for now, but I can actually set prompt to in my shell. And this is why the Cloud9 is very, very, very important that you use Cloud9, because I don't want to do these things in my laptop and break my laptop or anything. So I go to Cloud9, I create, because Cloud9 you can delete it and create a new one, a new terminal. And in this terminal, you see the prompt is $1. You can change it to DS. It's gone. Let me see. But sometimes you have to close the term this and open a new one for it to take effect. It didn't set. Welcome to the world of research. Change. So there's a file that you edit, which is the bash RC file. Let's use this to talk about files and editing the files. Okay, so there's a bash. Let me go to Cloud9. I don't want to use my own laptop. Okay, so Cloud9 environment here. Now, where am I? PWD. I'm in the home Ubuntu. I'm logged in as a user Ubuntu because this is not my personal laptop. There's a default user on this machine called Ubuntu. Okay, Ubuntu is a type of Linux operating system distribution. Now, I'm logged in as Ubuntu, and I'm in the location, environment, I can list. And I mean, when I list, there's only one file there. Okay. PWD will tell me the exact path. We did that already. Who am I? Who am I? These are commands that you need to write down. I'm going to write them down. Who am I? You are Ubuntu. So there's a path that I need to go to. So the path is my home. Yeah. And there's, I'm in my home folder now. If I list, I see in the home folder there's, and when you list, you can add flags. I want to list all, even hidden files as well. These are the hidden files in this home folder. Where is the bus RC? No, I'm in home. No. Yeah, so I'm in my home folder. I went to /home. That was a wrong folder that I went to, but now I'm in my home folder, and this is the file that they want us to edit. This is a system file. Remember, if you want to play with any of these files, they are hidden for a reason. It's a system file. It's a program that runs when it's needed. And as I said, in Linux, most applications and programs are files. So we're going to cut this file, and cut is another word. Okay, cut will just give you the output, whatever is in the file, but you can't do anything with it. It just tells you what's in the file. So I can cut dot bash rc, which is a file, and this is it. As I said, it's a program that is written with if then else. You can go and read a little bit about bash rc in Linux, and what is it about? What does it do? It's something that you can. Now, there's another program that you can use to edit this file. Okay, edit this file. What softwares have you used in editing files in the future using GUI? It's Word, Microsoft Word, Excel, Notepad+, Adobe, all of these, and each one has its own functions, things that you can do with it. If you open an Adobe file with Adobe program, you can do what Adobe program allows you to do. Word, same. Excel, the same. Notepad++, the same. One common file editing programs in the command line Linux specifically are Nano, and this needs to be in your own bank. These are basics. It has to be in your own toolbox. You don't need to go and research for that one. Vim and Vi. Okay, Vim and Vi. These three programs. Don't go and learn it extensively like you want to be an expert in Nano, you want to be an expert in Vim, you want to be an expert in Vi. No, just know about them. And then when it gets to how do I do this in Vim, that's what I was talking about, how to do it. You go on. So you know what to use to edit a file is Vim. So I can Vim, and you call the Vim command, and then you pass in the file you want to open. You're telling Vim, can you open this file for me? So we're going to open the bash rc file. So Vim, can you open this file for me? Okay, and then you enter, and voila, now the file is open.
Can you make your terminal a bit bigger so we can see what you're doing?
Roger that.
Thank you.
Let me stop sharing and share in another screen and see. Oh no, I'm sharing the same one. In Cloud9, how do I Can you see?
Yeah.
Is it clear enough?
Yeah, it's better now.
Okay. So I've already opened the file. I don't want to make any changes. So in Vim, you type escape command or button, and then you shift semicolon quit as in Q. I know this for sure because I've been doing it a lot of times. So how to open a file using Vim, how to close a file using Vim, how to save using Vim, and how to exit just like that, or how to insert changes into Vim. So semicolon, or this is colon, isn't it? Or semicolon, one, well, it's the dot dot. Enter, and the file is closed. Yeah, it's closed. Now, another command that I'll teach today is clear. You have your screen, it's got gibberish, a lot of things on it. You want to clear it, it's clear. And everything is gone. It's not gone, it's there, but it's just, well, some of them are still there. You scroll up and you see it. But then here, it's taking you to the top. And you can't see all the commands that you've been. And so today, let's put these in the document. Introduction to Linux. So let's do basic commands, CMD. Yes. We have done who am I, PWD, LS, we did cat. We've done a little bit of Vim. And under Vim, you can do more under Vim. So quit. Open a file is going to be open a file. It's going to be Vim, and then obviously file path, where the location of the file path. Okay. So you're opening a file. If you want to quit, close, or quit, you do while the file is open, you have to escape first. So it's ESC button first. Press ESC escape button, and this and Q. Yeah. Oh, this and Q. Yeah. Okay. That's it. That's what we've done. We have also I've also talked to done cat, who am I, PWD. Let's see. Let's go back into this. Cloud9, and you can use Cloud9 to play around. Oh, Claire as well. We did Claire, didn't we? Claire. Now, one thing that I'm going to show you is me and ChatGPT, Gemini. We decided to give you a list of commands you can play with. Given customer information. It's ChatGPT, not Gemini. A list of commands that you can play with as a beginner. So I'll put that here. Okay. Go and practice all of this. Yeah. There's a lot. Installation and setup. Installing, I don't need that. Oh, well. Understanding the basics of Linux Unix operating system, familiar with the command line, tasks, introduction to I don't need this. Don't install any distro. Basic commands, pwd, cd, make a directory, remove a directory, copy, move, and remove. File and directory management. Understand the permissions of what that someone has a permission. If I want to give Bernard or Ubuntu as a user permission to a specific file, what do I use? Okay. Nano Vim and gedit, we just did that. We did Vim, we haven't done Nano, but they are all file editors, viewing and editing files, process commands, cut, more, less, head, tail, grep, awk, sed, compressing a file, a lot of things. So if I will be honest with you, I want to be honest with you, you need to know in your own bank, in your own knowledge base, 80% of what I've put here. You need to know and practice it. Do things with yourself, these commands. Head, tail. So like, look, head, go to Google, YouTube, and type Linux command head, introduction to head. Someone will explain to you. Don't spend too much. I like when someone is in front of me telling me something. Why is it? So I use Google, YouTube a lot. Okay. And then you've got Cloud9 to practice it. Okay. So the same file that we are going to edit, I don't want to change the subject, but we are using this file. We're going to make sure that we change the prompt to something else to answer that question. But that same file, that I did cut and I vim it as well. That same file, I can head it, head that same file. It just gives me the top, how many lines did they give me? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, maybe 10, 8 or 10 lines of the file. If I say tail, you get the point now, isn't it? Tail, it will give me the last the lines of the file. Yeah. So then if you go back here, we got head, tail, grep, awk, and sed. What would they do? If I grep, yeah, and say, let's just grep the file and see. Grep. It's not, because grep will take some more parameters. It needs some more information before grep can work. Control C will kill a process. So when I started grepping and it's not doing anything, it seems it's stuck. It's not giving me any output. What is it doing in the background? What is, I don't like this. So I control C. Control C. Okay. Gets me out of that process that I've started. Now, grep used is different. So when you want to grep, I think it's something that we can go to Google again, grep. Oh no, I don't want to change this. This one I can change it. Okay, okay. Grep. You need to find if you want to find a text in the file. Grep a file. How do we do it? I know what to do, but how do I actually go ahead and do it? Grep word file name. Okay, search for a word in the file name. So I need to grep something, and then I pass the file name. So if I go to Cloud9 again, I need to tell what to grep. So let's say I want to grep this, then which node? And to find this text in this file, I will put that information in quotes, and I'll pass the file to it. And grep went and found a line that contains that text. See, that's what grep does. Okay, so each of these commands here, practice it, use it, and play around with it. Make sure that about 80% of this here I've just put here is in your own knowledge base. Okay, there's top, there's htop, ps, df, du, free, because you're going to need it. Because all you're going to see in most of your servers when you log in is this user interface, which is command line. You're going to use command line. And the more you know about command line, the more you are able to do some of these programs like bash rc. Someone has done bash rc, and it's a program that does something. As I said, let people go and learn it themselves. But they've written a program which is instructions that whenever this file is called, it should perform these things. We're going to add one more to it. Okay, what we're going to add is the prompt that we're going to change. The prompt that we're going to change. So currently the prompt is $1. So I'm going to edit this file again, and I'm going to use Vim. We all know Vim. I'm in the file, so I'm going to insert something at the end. You know, this process that I'm performing now, I could do it differently and I will not even have to open the file. I can run some commands to the file, and the information I want to add will just go to the location I want it to go and stay. So, but let's do this one. So in Vim, if you want to add, now if I can type and oh, it's actually adding. Oh no. Now I've added gibberish. I don't want to save that gibberish. Don't want it. I escape again, click escape, and then obviously you see that the insert went. And then I semicolon, need to learn that. And then I quit. I'm just quitting, no saving. And it's going to tell you no write since last change. When you want to quit, actually, escape again. You do the colon, semicolon again. They want you to add the exclamation mark. Okay, so that you are confirming that you really want to quit and not save. It's a way to make sure that you don't lose your work. So if I say quit and I don't add the exclamation mark, it will not go. This one is you saying, I really want to quit. I don't want to save the changes. I'm sure I don't want to save the changes. And it will just not save the changes. Okay. If I open again, I need to insert. I want to insert. So what I do is I press the I. And I know you're going to go and learn Vim. These basics, okay. Insert, and then it changes the mode to insert mode. Okay, so from now onwards, what if I can type new things? Okay, and the command that we're going to add to this file, which you're going to learn what this file is all about, is we're going to add one more line, which is ps1 is equal to my test prompt. Okay, this line that we've added to this file will make sure that on this machine, when Ubuntu logs in, the user Ubuntu logs in, the prompt, which was $ or %, will change to a customized one, my test prompt. Okay, so we finish what we want to do. We escape, click escape again, and then colon. Here we're going to write to the file. We're going to update. We want to make changes to the file. So we write W. In Vim, you write W, and you need to confirm that you really want to do it. You add the exclamation mark and enter. It tells you that it has been written to. The file has now been written to. So you have saved the changes. Okay. And then you can quit. That's it. You're out of the file. You haven't opened the file again. Now, when you make changes to bash rc, it doesn't apply then. So there's a command to make sure that you can reload the bash RC again. But one thing is you can just close your terminal and open a new terminal. And the new terminal comes online and the prompt has changed. So it's my test prompt. There's no Ubuntu. The color has changed as well. So the PS1 command you can do things to it to even change the color, change the whatever you want to see there, all of that. And you see, as you can see now, when I open any new terminal, it comes with my test prompt. And that's the answer to your question, Eddie. It's settings that has been set in different specific Linux distributions, environments that are default. And in Mac, the default is what you see now, which can also be changed in your bash RC file or other thing. There are so many other ways of changing this. And this here, to actually make it different color, there's a lot more to this command, which is PS1. So what we've done is we've added PS1 to our bash RC. Let's see if I can still cut bash RC. So, oh, says the file doesn't exist. Where am I now? Okay, CD tilde ls minus T. Be careful what you change. It changed my home directory as well. So my home directory, when I log in now, I'm not directly in my home directory, which needs to be the default. But because I've changed this, so one thing that we need to do is to also research on this command here, which is PS1. Okay, PS1. So you go to Google and you can just say introduction to PS1 Linux. PS1 is a shell variable that controls the appearance of the shell prompt. Changing the PS1 value will change the appearance of your shell prompt on Linux and Unix-like machines. YouTube can get someone who will then go into further. You can be an expert in PS1. You just do it, play around with it, change it this way, change the color. You can be an expert in that. And I always go to YouTube and type the same thing, and it will literally give you someone explaining PS1. Learn to write bash scripts, learn to this is the guide. 6 hours. 6 hours. I'll share this link. And I've watched this. So PS1 prompt environment. There we are.
Welcome back to Automation with Shell Scripting course video series presented by
Calendar. Of course, I'm not going to watch this video.
We are going.
But my point is, the information is there. It's really there. You really everything, because these people are making money out of you watching it, so it's free. So go and watch it. Okay. So it's about the what and the why. The how is there. How to do it is there. Okay. And the more you play around with the system, the more you know the what and the why, because you go and find out, oh, why is this there? Why is that? Like a very brilliant question that Eddie asked. And then you go and find how. I'm here to help you with what and why, but then the how, it will depend on you. Remember I said the other day, horse and the river. Okay. So I think we can end it here today. If you have any more questions, you can ask me, but I'm going to copy this guy's this guy's video. 6 hours.
Welcome to this introduction to Linux.
I watched it on the planes and I've watched it sitting down. 6 hours he does a video for. So it's really, really interesting. So what I'll do is I'll share the link first of all in the WhatsApp. You cannot go anywhere not knowing Linux as a DevOps engineer. I'm very sorry to say. Well, the type that I do. Now, if you want to be a Linux, just a Linux administrator in London, admin jobs in London, those in London. If you master Linux, don't do DevOps, don't do anything else. Why are you using Bing? I don't like Bing. I don't know where you are now. In Rwanda, you can look at it as well. But my point is, there are jobs for just Linux admin. Linux admin, okay? You don't, which is what you need. Base about 60% of this to be a DevOps engineer. But Linux admin jobs in London, salary, Linux admin salary. Okay. And in Glassdoor, this is how much a Linux admin salary in UK is currently paying. Just Linux admin. That's it. Okay. And the jobs are there. The thing is, can't just do a course, watch a video here, and go and sit down and say, I want to be a Linux admin. You need to be able to go and show that you are a Linux admin and you can administer Linux. Look, this company is looking for someone, Linux systems admin, 60K a year. So if you didn't get anything out of this, what we're doing as a DevOps engineer, we're going to go into more. And for a Linux admin, just watch the videos. Forget about, you can go and do a course, go and pay for someone to take you through. There are certificates that you can get as well. Okay. And so one of them is Red Hat. Red Hat is another, it's like Ubuntu. Red Hat. Certification. You want the certification, you can get it. But as I said, if you're in UK, all you really do need to do is to be able to do it. You can go and do the certificate. You can go if you can't do it, the work, there's no point. Okay. This is Udemy. Udemy also has a lot of Red Hat certificate in systems admin. Okay. And I think some people in my, can do a certificate. Red Hat is a recognized provider, training provider that gives training and exams and so on and so forth. There are other certifications that you can do, but my point is, I'm not going to. I don't think I have stressed it enough that you cannot go anywhere without knowing about 80% of what a Linux admin will do. Okay. And even if you just master as a Linux admin, there are jobs that you can get that will pay you a decent amount of money in the UK. I'm not sure about Rwanda or Ghana or anywhere else, but Google can tell you in your own country how much people are being paid there. So, point is, the video is going to be shared. Have I shared it? Yeah. It's 6 hours, guys. 6 hours. You can do it 1 hour a day. 20 minutes a day. But make sure you watch the whole 6 hours. If you can watch it 3-4 times, by the time Christmas comes, I'll be really happy. You'll probably be an expert by that time. Okay? You know a lot of things. So if you have to go and sit the exam, then you have to go and pay some money and do it. But when you're starting, you're coming into the industry at the beginning, certification can help get you your foot into the door. Okay, it can help to get your foot into the door. It can only help to get your foot into the door. There's a reason why they are saying that. Foot in the door. That's it. So the certification can help you to get your foot into the door. Think about what I've just said. But when you enter, if you enter into the industry, the certification doesn't work anymore. You have to do the work. Have to do the work. You have to. I will employ you if you come and you don't have any certificate, but you can do the work. I can give you tasks, and in front of me, in your interview, you're doing it. Okay, you're doing it. I'll employ you. I don't need any certificate. So, any questions? Let me stop recording. Well, let's record with the questions. Anybody got any questions? So today, what we were trying to do is a little bit of introduction to things. DevOps, what does DevOps means? You can go and watch some videos about DevOps. We've got systems admin, what is a server, but all of this, I was getting you through the idea of Linux. We're going to focus on Linux a lot. We're going to do things. Everything we're going to do will be in this Linux environment. Everything we're going to do will be here. So it's best that when I tell you to open a file, you know how to open a file. Change this, change that, you know how to do it. It will help going forward. So get the basics at the beginning, quick, a couple of commands that you need in your bank to be able to do your work, maneuver around, change here, move here, find this, locate this, save that here. Basics. Get those ones, and then it will help us in the course. Okay. But then if you want to go further, which I think you should, there's more. Okay. If you didn't do anything, just look at this document I've put here and do some of them. Okay. But then there's a video, and there's YouTube that you can go and do some learning, some sort of learning. This guy here is good. Okay. This guy here is good. If you go into videos, check how many views they've got, and so on and so on. So you see Red Hat. He's explaining what Red Hat is. He's good. I can honestly tell you that everything I know, I've learned from YouTube. Okay. The YouTube. Of course, don't go and start learning things that we haven't spoken about, because you get caught out, you get confused, you do too many things. But the ones we've mentioned, which is the path that we are following, make sure you know. Make sure you know it, and you know it well, you've practiced. Look, this guy has a video about Vim. Today we talked about Vim, test editor. He has a whole course about Vim. Yeah. And it's not 10 minutes. Let me share. Copy. It's 10 minutes. It has a whole course about Vim. Okay. So that's what I'm saying. If you want, you can go to Google and say Linux cut. Someone has done a course about it, and it will teach you all about cut. This same person has got cut. Okay. So I will help you with the what and the why, but you need to go and finish it up. The cut command in Linux And it's got a 10-minute video about cat, the clear command, PWD command. All these commands that today we've mentioned, it's up to you to go home in your own time, in your Cloud9, play around with it. See, did who am I, PWD, LS, cat vim, clear, and there's more. Make there, remove there, and so on and so forth. Right. Any questions? Let me stop.